Guess what? Here we are with Sticker Dolly's baby dragon, and we are going to read Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is called Stormy Seas. Grace and Holly gazed away from Dragon Rock and out across the sea. They could just make out Shimmer Island sparkling on the horizon. "It's too far for us to swim," said Holly, looking through her telescope again. "I know," she exclaimed. "We could build a raft and ask the mermaids to help push us across." "Brilliant," said Lily. At once, Lily and Holly set about collecting fallen vines and branches before dragging them down to the edge of the river. There, Grace tied the branches together with vines while Moss looked on with interest. Every now and then he made little mewing noises. "Don't worry, Moss," said Grace, trying to soothe him. "We'll find you some food as fast as we can." Once Grace had tied the last of the branches, they all looked down at their work. "The raft looks stable," she said. "Let's see if it floats." Together, they pushed the raft into the river, with Grace holding on to a twisted rope of vines she'd attached to the edge. "Well, it's floating," said Holly, "so that's a good start." "And I found the perfect branch for an oar," added Lily. "Let's ride the raft down river to the sea. Then, when we get there, we can call the mermaids to come and help." Holly climbed on board, and the others followed, with Moss in Grace's arms. Moss is such a cute little dragon. "Moss doesn't seem too afraid," said Holly, smiling. "It's as if he trusts you completely, Grace." "I know," said Grace, stroking his smooth back. "I just hope we don't let him down." Lily steered the raft downstream, avoiding the low-hanging branches. As the river met the sea, Holly reached for her shell necklace. "Time to call the mermaids," she said, her voice sounding a little nervous. "I hope this works." She blew gently over the tiny shells on her necklace, just as the Mer Queen had said. For a moment, nothing happened. Lily tried to paddle as fast as she could, but it was slow going against the tide. "It'll take us hours to reach Shimmer Island without the mermaids," she said. "I do hope they come." They all looked anxiously at Moss, who was growing quieter by the minute. He was still making his little mewing noises, but they were fainter than before, and he seemed to lie very still in Grace's arms. "Maybe all the mermaids are busy," said Grace, her voice filled with worry. But then came a gentle humming sound, followed by a song that sounded as if it was made from foam and wind and sky. "The mermaids!" cried Holly. "I hear them." They glanced down to see dark shapes under the waves, and the water parted, and up rose their friend Nerissa, followed by 3 other mermaids. "You called us," said Nerissa, smiling at the magic dolls. "What can we do for you?" "Thank you so much," said Holly. "We need to reach Shimmer Island as fast as we can. This baby dragon only eats the sparkle berries that grow there. Could you help us by pushing the raft?" "Of course," said Nerissa, "but it's set to be a stormy day. Do you have to go now?" "I'm afraid so," Grace said. "I don't know how much longer this little dragon can last without food." "All right, hold on tight," said Nerissa. "The weather's coming in fast." The dolls followed Nerissa's gaze to see large, dark clouds gathering to the east, where the waves seemed to rise higher even as they watched them. The mermaids began to push the raft through the water. Lily tried to paddle to help speed them along, but soon the waves were too rough for her to keep her balance. "Just focus on keeping your grip," said Nerissa, her voice calm as she powered them through the water. By now, the storm clouds were gathered directly above them, and the waters were rising and falling, so the raft lurched up and down. The dolls wrapped their cloaks tightly around themselves, and Grace clung to Moss, shielding him from the splashing waves. The magic dolls held tighter still as the raft passed through a narrow gap, jagged rocks rising up on either side, and then, at last, they touched down on the sandy shore of Shimmer Island. "Thank you so much for bringing us here," said Holly. As the dolls leapt from the raft, dragging it up the beach, the mermaids watched from the water to make sure they were safely ashore. "Just call when you need us to bring you back," said Nerissa, and then with a final wave, they all dived back beneath the foaming waves. "I hope these sparkleberries are easy to find," said Grace as they began to climb. "Moss is getting weaker and weaker. We have to find him some food, and fast." Guess what? that was the end of the chapter. So you have to come back next time to see chapter 4, Shimmer Island, of Sticker Dollies, Baby Dragon. Isn't it such a good book?